Okay, I gotta look for pine cones. Fell cones. Fell cones. Fell cones. Because, yeah, that's... Because I did something bad with the centaur, and now it's like, you gotta, like, prove yourself that you're not a... Because you're being a jerk. You helped a centaur, and now you have to pay for it by collecting stinky pine cones. And I'm like, oh man. So now I have to collect stinky pine cones. Okay, so to go and collect stinky pine cones, and like that one over there saying, so to kill all these cats and stuff in the way, which is more XP for me. That's right. So stinky pine cone. Okay, there's another one over here. Yeah, there it is. I love how they put the glowing outline on stuff now, because, oh my god, sometimes when they first started, it has had these little sparkles, like little glitter that would come off of it. And sometimes you just could not see that. You couldn't. And it was just like, oh man, you just could not see them. It was very hard to see, so then they were like, okay, we'll put this outline here. And see, oh, there's one over there, see. It's much easier to see stuff. It's much easier if you got, if you're an herbalist or you're a miner, you can see mining nodes and plants and stuff that you can pick for herbalism. Much easier because they have that yellow glow around them, and that's perfect because you're like, oh yeah. So okay, I have to go over here and kill these clowns over here, and go all the way back to where the town was back there. So okay, this cat over here minding his own business. I'll teach you to mind your own business in a field of flowers, you stupid cat. Take this. That's for sniffing flowers. Ha. Yeah. That's for sniffing flowers and minding your own business. How dare you? How dare you mind your own business and wander around looking for food? How dare you? I'll show you. There you go. Just kicking booty. Kicking booty. Alright, here's the little village of hapless evil teddy bears that I must slaughter. I have to slaughter them. I have to slaughter them in the name of XP. And slaughter. I'll slaughter these guys first. Pick up all this stuff as we kill groups of them, so that way, yeah. I can't forget about the cooldown, you know. Rabbit! Oh god, being attacked by a rabbit. No, not really. Okay. This is actually going pretty good so far. Gonna get to level 10 and I'll be able to use my shield, which will be better. Because, yeah, then I won't have to worry about taking a whole lot of damage. I think it's great that we did this challenge as a priest. I know it's kind of cheap because you got shields and you're going to go discipline and you can heal yourself. Well, you know, every little bit counts. You also got to keep in mind that I'm completely naked except for my staff. So, you know, it's not like I have a distinct advantage or anything. this guy over here, and hopefully he doesn't grab the boss guy. Good, he doesn't. Good. Okay. Be careful with the boss guy here. Whew. Heal myself real quick. Okay. Where are you going, city boy? Oh. Okay. And kill that guys and everything, and then we come back and we've killed. Oh my god, sorry about burping. Whatever. Kill those guys. Yeah, I guess somebody killed the. Oh, look, there's a hunter. Oh, look, there's a rogue. Okay. Yeah. Alright then. Well, there are some people around. So I'm guessing there are. Okay, there's other players. I was wondering, I was like, Dalaran is not a low pop server. There ought to be more people around here. I'm surprised I haven't seen more void elves and stuff, but I'm guessing because this is the low level area, I won't see void elves and stuff until further on into the world, because they start off at level 20. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I still think void elves are kind of funny. For those of you that don't know, it's like the Alliance can't talk to the Horde. You know, there's a language barrier. And I wrote on the forums about this. It's probably been made fun of or whatever because people, you know, internet. But I said, especially like the Void Elves, for instance. Void Elves are, they start off as Blood Elves. And their story is that they practiced void magic, so they got kicked out of Silvermoon, or the Blood Elf capital. And then Ilaria Windrunner, an Alliance elf, Sylvanas' sister, she comes around and she helps them and says, hey, you know, since you were kicked out of Silvermoon and everything, why don't you come join the Alliance? And they say, okay. And it's like, okay, that sounds cool, that's fine. But then you get to thinking about it. You're like, okay, all of a sudden, just because they join the Alliance, all of a sudden they forget how to speak Blood Elf, and they forget how to speak Orcish, and like, as if through some kind of MK Ultra mind control or something, they just completely forget their native languages, and they can suddenly speak Common like they were born with it. And you just kind of go, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's kind of the same with the Pandarans. If those of you that are not familiar with Pandarans, Pandarans, they start off neutral, and they help out the Alliance, and they help out the Horde on the Wandering Isle, you know, on the back of the turtle, and then they save the turtle and everything, and then they have to choose a side, and they choose either the Horde or they choose the Alliance. Well, here's the thing: they're all Pandarans, and they all speak Pandaran, and then all of a sudden it's like they forget how to speak their native language, and they can only speak Pandaren Horde, or they can only speak Pandaren Alliance. And it's like, that's truthfully, the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, it's not very realistic at all. Because if you get to thinking about it, it's like, suppose you're from like Mexico, for instance. You're Mexican. Okay? Suppose you're Mexican, and you became an American citizen. Okay? That being said, you're like, so you become an American citizen, so now that you're no longer a Mexican citizen, all of a sudden you just forget how to speak Spanish. I mean, you're born and raised in Guatemala or whatever, but now, you know, you can't speak. You can't. You're from Cancun or whatever, but you can't speak Mexican Spanish anymore because you became an American citizen. So now you can only speak American English. You know, it's like, and you can't communicate with your brothers and sisters or anybody that you knew in Mexico because they're still in Mexico and you're an American citizen. You don't just forget a language just because you chose a side or something, or went and visited, became a citizen of another country. I don't understand their way of thinking with that. It's just like, that doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. It doesn't make any sense at all. But, Blizzard. That's the way Blizzard is. That's just the way Blizzard is, so. Doesn't make any sense, but, that's Blizzard for you. And you say, well, how come they can't talk to each other? And that's a big question. How come we can't talk to each other? Well, because they don't want smack talking. And you're like, have you never been in a battleground or LFR? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's plenty of smack talking. Plenty. Okay, let's see if we survive this. Oh. Yeah, we can survive this. Okay. There we go. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents, though. I just think it's kind of... I know there's reasons for stuff, but they got to come up with... I know that they're better storytellers and stuff than that. And that's the best they can come up with. That's your creative solution to... that's why the Pandarans can't, talk to each other, because... Of course, then again, these are the same people that... When somebody asked them during Cataclysm, hey, how come there's Goblin and Worgen Death Knights? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, the Worgens came from Shadowfang Keep, and, blah, blah, blah. And the Goblins, they came from the Steamweedle Cartel, and that's why we have Goblins and Worgen Death Knights. And you just kind of go, okay, number one, the Worgens, they're in Shadowfang Keep. I know, because I went to Shadowfang Keep a lot. I guarantee you, those werewolves were more animal than human. In fact, they were mindless monsters. That's why we had to kill them. So how come mindless monsters, who became undead mindless monsters, now suddenly can think just because they were rescued and brought to the Alliance? Doesn't make much sense. And then goblins, I don't know, they work in cartels, so I'm kind of like thinking that it's like crime families. They would not trust goblins from another cartel. Yeah, sure, come join our family. You're part of the Horde now. That's great. No, that'd be taken... That's very improbable. Very, very improbable. And not only that, why would the Steamweedle Cartel be like, oh, you're a Death Knight? Well, you can't be part of our team anymore because, we're neutral. And it's so funny because the Steamweedle Cartel is supposed to be neutral, yet I don't ever see any goblins in a Alliance city. Ever. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have been all over Azeroth in various different expansion packs and stuff, and I have never seen a goblin in a Alliance town. I have seen neutral goblin towns like Booty Bay and Gadget Zan. I've seen that, but I've never actually seen any goblins in an Alliance town. Yeah, that's because the Alliance don't like them. They're racist, and they're like, "Oh, filthy goblins, get out of our city." And it's like, yeah, see, that's part of the reason why the Alliance is not exactly the good guys, and the Horde is not exactly the bad guys. Believe me, both sides got faults. So if anybody's like hardcore, oh, the Horde sucks because they're bad guys and Sylvanas has done this, and Thrall did that. Well, let me remind you of some of the crap Greymane has done. Or, better yet, you know why the goblins for the Bilgewater cartel joined the Horde? Probably because they just happened to come across a sea battle between the Horde and the Alliance shot them and blew them out of the water without any provocation. So think about that for a moment. The reason why the Blood Elves joined the Horde is because when the undead Scourge were coming against Silvermoon, the humans just kind of left them to die. And they had to team up with Naga and turn to fell magic in order to survive. Well, thanks to Illidan betraying them. So think about that for a moment. Yeah, the Alliance are not innocent good guys. Believe me, they got their faults. You start looking in the story and the lore of the game and everything, you'll realize the Horde are not distinct bad guys, and the Alliance are not distinct good guys. So we're just killing these bears here because making our way to one of my... I remember, I'm glad that they changed this quest line here because, oh my god, this was one of the hardest quest lines for the Alliance that I have ever seen, was this Barrow Den, the Relics of the Awakening. Thank goodness that they changed this up to where it's not so dang hard. Because when I first started playing Warcraft, and I know, when I first started playing, I wasn't super good, and I didn't know all these strategies and how to play really super over pro and all this stuff, right? And I would go in this cave and try to do this dungeon. If you were a druid or a priest like I am here, oh my god, man, you'd get the crap kicked out of you. These bears would respawn on you and they would beat the snot out of you. I would die like 3 or 4 times trying to finish this quest. Sometimes I would even skip it because I was like, okay, forget it, I'm never going to survive this. I'm just gonna skip this quest because it's too hard and I can't survive it. So but we didn't have to worry about that too much. Okay, we're going down here. Chugga, 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 chugga. Oh, there's somebody. Hi, buddy. Do you expect me to talk? No, I expect you to die. I must say I love my new graphics card, my new computer, because, oh man, the shadows and everything are just so cool. If you have an older model computer and stuff, you know, it's great, but, oh man, I gotta tell you, if you are really loving artwork and graphics and stuff like I do, I gotta tell you, playing Warcraft and games with good graphics and stuff like Elder Scrolls Online and stuff, the way the graphics are and stuff are amazing. Hey, there's my buddy. Hi! Okay, there she is. She's going to help us out. So, she helps us out because, oh man, we would get overwhelmed in here really bad. Like I told you, this was a really hard quest to do by yourself, and if you were by yourself or there was nobody around to kind of cheese the numbers, then oh man, it was really hard to do. Oh, I'm up against a wall. I also have that little problem. I do that in Overwatch a lot, especially if I'm playing Tracer. Oh my god, I will zip into walls faster than she can zip. I will back up into the payload, like if the payload's mobile, like a truck or something. I'll just zip, 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 and I'll be like trying to get away from my own pulse bomb or something and blow myself up because I will have teleported and backed up into the payload and blow myself up. Maybe one of these days, if you guys want, I'll show you some of my Overwatch playability. I'm not pro by any means, but I'm actually really good. I actually do really good with Widow, if you can believe that. I mean, I'm not super pro at it, like I said, but I'm pretty darn good. My girlfriend and I play a lot, and she's really good with Reaper, and I'm really good with with Widow and Tracer. And she's been getting really good with Pharah and stuff too. So maybe I'll show some of that footage and stuff and get past that. Into this stuff here. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I make your concentration? Did we get the, okay, we got this one. I'm gonna make it sure. That's another thing, trying to find these things. It's like, ugh. Trying to find all these. I think we're going the right way. Yeah, we are. Okay. Sometimes I get turned around, it's like a maze. Ugh, I did it again. So yeah, that's not strafing. I go like this and I'll just turn around and it's like, no. It's like, get out of Overwatch mode and get into World of Warcraft mode. Okay. Dude's got a cleaver. You gotta wonder where some of these monsters get their treasures and stuff like that. Like this one bear, one of those bears, they dropped a training sword. And it's like, okay, these guys are wearing like loincloths. Where was he keeping that sword? Sometimes you'll kill a wolf and a battle axe drops or something. You're like, where did a wolf have a battle axe? Did he swallow it or something? That doesn't make any sense, huh? It's like, yeah, did you swallow that battle axe or what? Because oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, game logic. Yeah. Just the same as I have to run everywhere I go. She never gets tired. Of course, then again, look at her muscles, man. You can tell this girl works out. Look at her muscles. Like, good lord, she could run for miles and never get tired. She looks like an Amazon. Wonder Woman. Campiola's problem is, but it keeps logging in and out, and that's like, I hate when my friends do that. It's like, stop being distracting. Distracting. Okay, we have to go through here. Level 9. Level 9. Okay.